Okay, so here we go. Update. It might get loud because by the road, which is where I first started over a year ago, um, with my second part of being on the streets and a break and then back on the streets here. Um, I was guided to do an update to share some information because I only share what I'm guided to share. There's many reasons to understand behind that, and there's many things that people do and don't understand about how this world operates. So I shoot from the hip. That's how I go. So here I am again. Y'all know how I do. I'm here at the Hilo library, beautiful library. It's where I used to sleep on the steps because I was guided to, and I was um, doing a whole bunch of channeling with Kamehameha. And forever, I didn't know that this stone behind me was the one that he lifted. And just to give you guys a sneak peek, like I did last time, because I don't check out media, literature. Y'all can pause and read that. Um, for quite some time. I just follow what Divine wants me to watch, read, look into. That includes people. Even though I can get a lot of information from the Divine, and I don't seek to intrude upon people's energy or information. You know, uh, just what's needed. And so today is brought just to kind of update people, and not kind of, I always say kind of, update the viewers and give them a crash course on understanding me, the Messiah. And everyone thinks that that's such a crazy thing for someone to claim. Many people have claimed that they're the Messiah. And as I would say, is am this new era's Messiah, and people can look at it as what the definition of Messiah is the messenger of divinity. Don't kill the messenger. Like y'all grew up hearing that phrase. And if you did, there was a big crisis to pay. But I am this new era's Messiah. And because I'm so chill, or I've been through the gutter, so was the man people know as Jesus Christ. You know, it didn't have to be that way. People didn't have to be a Judas or a whatever and backstab or betray. Um, they could have taken the opportunity for change and improvement for everybody and to help that era's Messiah, right? And now that I am stepping into that, I'm here to say it. For those that think it's bullshit, you could just look at me as a messenger of divinity, but I come with great information. And I wanted to introduce myself in this video as such. So to better help people understand and crash course them in their own awakening or their own understanding, watch a few of the things I've been directed to this last year, and watch all the seasons 1, 2, 3, whatever they have. If you want to know my role in this world as we know it, and the world that is soon to come, as we end the world as we know it. So you can learn more about me and who I am through these stories. One being Discovery of Witches. You can look at Diana. She's the light, represent the tree that with the light. I urge you to watch that. Urge you to watch The Wheel of Time, me being Rand, but also playing roles, not playing, living in the roles of these other characters, and maybe not in the light or the way that it's shown in the movie, but it's something I can explain to my following later. One example is following the man they call Jesus. If I don't follow him, bad things happen. That's why I follow him. He tells me not to get that job. Don't go get the job, because the rare times that I don't listen, I've ended up hurt, minimally hurt. Or if I try to do something extreme, like go get this job, end up with a blood clot, so I couldn't do the job, you know. And what you'll see in the Wheel of Time is there's uh, a character who she gets captured, and there's a thing around her neck, and she's controlled like a leash, right? And she has a controller, this other person. Another person is trying to make sure that she listens to everything that she says, so they could be a great team. She doesn't want to hurt the girl with the collar, but she will. Well, that's what it's like following God or your ancestors. Me following mine, Jesus, who is known as Jesus Christ. And that's another thing that might sound crazy to people. It is a difference. Jesus is connected to the Jesuits, and that's a whole other thing that I have to learn about when it's time. So anyways, you watch these movies, you will see that as far as the main characters, Diana in Discovery, which is Rand in the Wheel of Time, mind you, these things that I was showed were only confirmation of my whole life and things I've already been told by the divine and by Jesus. So, me being shown these movies in the past year, or these TV series, or things online, is all been confirmations or a preview to what's gonna happen. And so, there's some other series that I could share with you, but those are the main ones to understand who I am as it all gets revealed. What my health, the more I've been walking this fine line, this more narrow path, my health has just gone downhill. And what I've been advised of is it's spiritual warfare, And this day, I was also taken to watch G20 the other night, which talks about this thing called deep fake, because my understanding is they'll try to do it to me. They have and will do it to others, but the reason why I have to get this video out now is because by the time they start doing deep fake on me, people will be misled. And so this is why I'm giving you a crash course now, because I don't know the next time I'll do a video, y'all will see me. So those that are watching it, I encourage you to save this so others can watch it and have the real version. And maybe that alone will prevent them from trying to do a deep fake on me with my other videos or whatever. They be Trump's people and whatnot. My understanding is from the divine places, I've had Cartel after me. I've had the Sicarios, I think that's how you say the name, after me, and Trump's administration. Now that sounds all crazy, but there's been a lot of planes and helicopters that have gone down in my protection. And I'm going to be kind of all over the place, but you'll see the puzzle pieces all come together here. So just seeing what's coming. While I've been on the streets, where do I start? So when I got to the island almost over 4 years ago, I started getting guided to women that were basically goddesses of light that had gone dark, commoners, and then to celebrities. First was Mighty Isabel. The thing is, in our coming together, she could have gained a lot, but she wanted to have me in a certain way, but lie to people about her attraction to me, yet run people off from me. And then with the opportunity of both of us to provide for each other, she just fucked me. Let's just call it simple as that. I came to her in Colombia as guided and requested by her, guided by the divine, and she just fucked me, treated me like shit. I could have learned a lot, like the language, been a great help to her in rebuilding her properties. There's a whole bunch that if she would have took the union seriously, I could have done well. for her then and later, but she didn't want to help. She wanted to tear me down, just like a lot of my exes, just like a lot of my family. Um, well, I can't say a lot of my family. I feel really one in particular person, but others minimally, Um, but not worthy of even going into right now. The bottom line is people left me for dead. I was sent to people, whether it's family or people to help work on their property, but also give them divine message. And what they wanted to do was use me and then leave me to the wolves, all of them, the commoners and the celebrities. So over the course of the last 2 years, I've been providing guidance to celebrities, um, giving some free readings. They all had the opportunity to help me. My understanding is they've watched me suffer, so basically they've all left me for dead. And why I'm here to leave this message is because you'll start to see a lot of them start to fall. And I told some of them, if I fall, you fall. I've Even though I've been led to the women, there's a lot of men, from my understanding, that have been watching me, but they were to come later. I dealt with the men commoners, but not the men celebrities yet. So, fast forward to now, people minimally helped, people minimally stepped forward. I got 4 months, 3.5 months help from Hope Services, which is a whole nother racket of shit on part of their admin side. Not everybody, but you got sharks in house. You got sharks in house. I've got 3.5 because of the light that's in that organization. I've got 3.5 months help of paid rent. Then I got to figure out the rest of the year through the spiritual warfare upon my body. So what I was saying earlier is I've been taken to a lot of things to understand spiritual warfare, why people need to take care of wanderers of light, because as we do better on our mission, the more we're under spiritual attack. So you see people, they eat really well, right? But yet they're like me, overweight. I'm getting down because I've been seriously attacking what's going on inside of my body, meaning with superfoods and all that. But the things, I'm mainly on a liquid diet. I don't eat much. It's been like that for over a year. And I didn't understand what was going on because people may call them witches and wizards and whatnot, things like that, but they really exist. If you look at Discovery of Witches, there's a guy, he holds this ball and he can control people without touching, right? Well, that's the spiritual warfare. If, as above, so below, if the government can take a device and send out a powerful wave of just air, right? And it can touch us, it can hurt us. Why would we think that as above, so below, that can't be done to us about the darker forces, right? And that we've got all these freaking big towers of electricity conductors and whatnot, and transmitters all around us, and these phones and the radiation. We have the light side that can protect us, but there's a dark side that are pros at it too. And I've been under spiritual warfare. And what I needed when I got to this island, as the divine put, I'm supposed to just literally be resting. And that's because my body, I didn't know at the time, my body would be so hard under attack by what people can't see, right? That I needed a caretaker, I needed comfort, I needed to be out of the city. So I reached out to these people, not having all of the information I have now, but asking for help, right? And there was the commoners, like I said, Isabel in line to help, but received, and Maria, but she went worse than Isabel, wanted a freaking slave, like I said, wanted to see me destroyed. Before that, I had dated a cop, same thing. It's like if they couldn't have me in an abusive way, they wanted to take me out. as above, so below. So imagine how a female or male that wants to seek, do back and mess your life up. Well, same thing with spiritual warfare. It's just nobody sees it. So they see people and they're like overweight or looking like a mess. But, you don't know. That person could actually be eating really well, exercising their butt off, but there's this invisible or invisible power that is destroying them. And you put in the work and you're exhausted. You can't do nothing. And then for me, you got the light side repairing you. Like I explained to people, like, don't you feel the tinglies all over your body that you can feel like you're being restored, and nobody knows what I'm talking about. Well, me being associated with the number one healer, Jesus, man, people call him Jesus Christ. I guess that's my benefit. We're both supposed to be healers. In many ways, I am, but I don't have my powers because I'm being restricted like many of us have. So in our natural growth, a lot of people are shorter than they normally be. They're um, they're lacking something because of the food systems poisoning them, or the vaccinations, a lot of things. So in a nutshell, in my work on this island, things that people may not give credit for, they'll be shown later of the sacrifices I've made and the scrutiny I've undergone because people don't understand what they can't see, or what they haven't even tapped into. But the bottom line is, the people that I did seek help from, I gave more than they had come. And they still want to see me destroy the record. How these celebrities could have helped was to provide me somewhere safe, meaning I'm under the protection of the divine in many ways. Now the invisible is hard. Finances getting blocked every which way, getting blocked on like social media and things. That's when the celebrities would have come in handy. Sharing my information, sharing my music, stepping off the stage, sharing me, leading people to me, instead of them stroking their kitty cat or grabbing their junk. I don't want to see that. That's not righteous. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the world's become, is a bunch of, vanity, and redoing other people's songs to show they do it better, or acting, you know. And they thought that them being on that stage was more important than sharing the message that they either got from me and or the ideas they got from me, to have themselves um, on the stage, themselves receiving money. And then what did they do with it? The Lions tell me not much. And one that did, I didn't reach out to her yet as guided, but my understanding is she watches. And Divine's not happy with what she's doing with her children, what she's preparing them for, and that's Beyonce. So Divine takes me to a video of her in a car at a concert that is tipping over, the flip. There was one point in time she made some homes for some homeless, but it wasn't enough compared to what she has and what she's preparing her children to be like her on stage. Man, it's all that. And again, what Divine said, if I fall, they fall. Well, I already felt. They all left me for dead. They could have presented, like I said, what would it have cost them to help me sustain living somewhere, have water that's not highly chlorinated? Whether I had EBT, it's not enough to live off living on the streets, period. And then when you're buying health foods like superfoods and or the little bit of finance I now get, which is like $400 a month, I'm buying things like black seed oil, these healing things that are not food. If I would had help from people who had a lot, very minimally to their income, they would have received a lot from me. They would have received a lot from divine, so it wasn't like they lost, but they would have helped a very key person in this new era. They would help me have a place that I can rest while I go through the spiritual attack, but share the guidance, teach them, teach others, not drinking highly chlorinated water, afford to have actual coconuts with coconut water from a decent grower sent to me. I would have been afforded these things that really wouldn't have cost them much to have protection, and they would have been protected. But as I know now, since they all let me fall, they will fall. Do I want that for them? No. But if it helps them wake up and smell the coffee, yes, because they, and not just the celebrities, but the thing is, they're vamping everybody's energy, their attention, and their money, you know. And really, what are they doing? Are they picking someone up, a few people a year, at least two? I mean, like, what would it really take them to pick up 5 people every year and sustain them so they could grow and be something better for themselves and the community? Nothing. Something, but not much. They could still live a very beautiful life while helping others, and they're not doing it. So those that are not doing it, that are just sitting up there getting all the, yes, give me the attention, give me the money, but they're not really going out there to their community and helping those people. They got a price to pay. I could have saved them from all this if they just helped the Messiah, but they didn't. They watched the Messiah. They took, basically, from the Messiah, and they left the Messiah for dead. They thought their message was more important than the Messiah's. They thought that spreading love on a stage was that's all they gotta do, or acting was, and giving people a good show was all they gotta do, or maybe get someone a job or minimally help someone. No, they weren't given, just like this responsibility to milk everybody for all that they got. So, one moment while I check in to make sure I said everything that I was asked to say. Bear with me. So, of 3 things I was supposed to talk about was how they didn't help, that they would fall. That was part of how they didn't help. What they were saying. You, those watching and them will see Jesus on me. Oh, but the movie. So now it's come to the place where just last week I was shown a movie called The Little Girl Who Still Believes in Miracles, or something like that. The girl who still believes in miracles, and every person that she helped, she got sicker and sicker. Like what's been going on with me. And I would say that's an attack of spiritual warfare. So you only have so much time. This little girl would have these drawings, and they were basically prophecy. And I've been doing these colorings of pictures I was taken to of like Hawaii and California and lava erupting, and drawing, coloring those with colored pencils. And before that, Divine telling me about different ways that it may end where Jesus is carrying my body. He told me about the seizures in the bed that I was going to have, and I had those. And then he takes me to this movie. He takes me to Raji Pinson, I believe is how you say her name. And even though she was on the list, I he hadn't taken me to her yet, and so he takes me to her about a couple weeks ago, and I keep seeing this movie Straw, and by Tyler Perry, and there's a lot with Tyler Perry I've forgotten about. He's on the list of not doing. And these people, they talk Christian values and stuff, and but they don't really provide like Christians, and is what all this is about. But in the little posts that I've seen, this is connected to way before seeing what I saw about her movie in his movie Straw. Um, Jesus said, "I'm sorry if you did this all for nothing," and I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like all the videos trying to reach out to these women, trying to educate them, being set like prearranged marriage to take care of them, to love them, to like marriage and marriage, because their divine counterparts were not on this earth anymore, and they needed the awakening, and they would, depending on who did what, would be set to lead, but not in the way that they were leading. And so it's almost like they were all in a race without knowing to be aligned for the job, or what job they would be aligned for. And I reached out to all these people, including her, and like I said, nobody responded back directly except one, Raina Roberts, and just to one message. But it took a long time for her to open up her chat to me, and we exchanged, but it's still open now, and it was talking about how she presents herself, and for her it was, well, it's art, and expression, and I don't know, Divine says she didn't miss what I'm talking about, but she is, because like the rest of them, she's getting caught up in vanity. And I was sent to her because she was following behind Beyonce, who just about got tipped over in that dang car floating at her concert, and the prop that she was riding in. And I got sent to Raina because her career is just about, it was popping off as far as I was concerned for what I had seen, but not as, of course, as much as it is now. And so, where was I going with that? Enlightening her consciousness, awakening, like the rest of these ladies. Now, Taraji's in line. Okay, this is all, like I said, a matter of a couple weeks ago. But before getting enlightened to this very little bit about Taraji, I'm told by Jesus the various scenarios, because of people's free will, right? How things can end. And it's like, holy shit, because I know I'm due for a transformation and a metamorphosis. And that's a whole nother ballgame for those that aren't even open to spiritual warfare. But think of the butterfly. And imagine, can a human actually do that too? Why not? Right? If the Creator did it already with the insect. So, I'm told, I'm sorry for being soft for nothing. This is before things got revealed to me. Like, to the depth that they are now. So, but with that, as I decoded, it was, well, the end of the world. And it's like, it was never intended to be the way it is now, with even people being sick. There was basically supposed to be like a band where it's not like Alcatraz, but it's like people go, they can't participate in the beyond, they come to Earth in banishment, and they learn what it is that they need to evolve, what they may have done wrong, what they may have done that was not righteous, that got them down here. The problem is some people are, it's like falsely imprisoned. That's people like myself. And so we get put on a mission, right? We're monitors of light, if you will. But a lot of us feel like lazy, ruthless scum, you know, and or people don't have the answers. We don't fit in with the norms of society, but we can adapt. So I get told these various ways that I may die, right? But not die. But you go to the little girl who still believes, or the girl who still believes in miracles or whatnot. You watch that movie, that explains to you better than what I can tell you right now in a short period of time. Um, what Divine was trying to tell me up till now, because again, I watched that like a week ago, and when it finally hit me that basically make me that little girl, I was like, holy shit, so here we go, this is what you're talking about. And how does that end? You know, because I've been told so many different scenarios, and I'm not clueless, but in a sense clueless like anybody else. You know, I can't know everything, especially with free will. And what Divine wanted me to share with everyone is how the Divine has protected me. Whether these administrations understand it or not, the ones that have a moral understanding are the Sicarios and the cartel. And my understanding is they've backed off, but Trump's administration and secret parts of his administration have not, and which is baffling to the Divine and to Jesus because of the military people that have mysteriously died in helicopters and plane crashes, and the people that have come here on ground through two celebrity. Well, one their hitman didn't make it, but one's did, and he knows who he is, and they will have prices to pay for that. But those mercenaries, if you will, my understanding from Divine is a lot of them tapped out because they do believe in the second coming and don't want to chance it because of what they met, their trauma behind trying to taking on the contract to come get rid of me. So what I say to the ladies that I have called upon is don't be scared, because I am divinely protected. The only redemption in all this for anybody outside of the people that I'm dealing with just in life is the truth, first of all, and to start doing things the right way. This is the only redemption. There will still be consequences, but the consequences won't be as bad. So what I would say to those ladies, those and men that have been watching me, that have the finances to make this world a better place, to have helped the Messiah, like I said, I simply provide a little bit of funds so I could buy regular water, not drinking chlorinated water, which dehydrates and hurts my body, amongst the many other things that I'm under a spiritual attack. To provide comfort from the Messiah who knows the way and can guide others to their ancestors to know the way. I urge them to tap in a little bit more, because I don't think it should be that hard, and revisit who they were guided to, and or just help somebody out. Go through my history of videos to learn about me, not the few they may see where I've been under attack from Maria and finally yelling back at her. You know, like other people haven't yelled at whoever they've been attacked by or not been attacked by. And to understand that in that sense I'm human too. I got my threshold. And if they look at the history of videos I've done over the time I've been on this island, they'll see the consistency in me, my energy, and with the understanding that I'm going to have my threshold moments of people abusing me, and people are good actors. Nadia is a good actor. She definitely, when I first started recording, played a sweet role and like, oh, why don't you just leave? But in the background, she like, I don't mean any of that. Take the time you need. I'm sorry. I know I'm not doing wrong. But then once she wanted that camera on, I stopped doing that because I saw she was trying to use that as an opportunity to act, to portray like she was a sweet older person. And when people look at me being bigger than her, um, looking way younger than I am, that she's just probably taken advantage of and all this BS, and it was so the opposite around. She got me into her spider web, tricked me, fooled me, abused me the whole way through. And her kids know how she was when they were growing up. People have experienced her enough to not understand how she is, that they really shouldn't have second guessed me just because I was different. They should have visited their core truth that have experienced her before. So anyways, back to how anyone can find redemption in the days to come. The only way is truth. And the only way is to start doing what's right. Don't put yourself up on a big old soapbox and not help out your community. Help people live more comfort of a lifestyle like yourself. If you're sitting on millions, you should be finding ways to keep that cultivating. Help your community keep that cultivating. And if you're scared of the dark side, well, there's your first problem. Because the thing is, you must live without fear. If other forces come for you and kill you, only two things going to happen. You're either going to go on to a much brighter life, right? And or you're going to reincarnate to finish your journey. But you're reincarnating to the age of Aquarius that's been paused and put on hold. You'll reincarnate into more love and more light as this new era flips over. So you can be guided properly, loved properly. So to fear death is ridiculous. Maybe, yes, I get it. Like, how you might die, yeah, okay. But at some point, the divine makes you numb to it till you pass, till you transition. So no one should be fearing anything. You should be fearing the slow death that organizations and secret societies put us in to keep us like slaves, and even regular commoners, you know. I took a lot of that brunt. Jesus took a lot of that brunt, but we weren't supposed to pay it for everybody. We weren't supposed to be the sacrificial lamb, but we ended up being that because society made us that way. People in the beyond made us that way. But if any one of y'all want the job, they'll sign up and I can sign out. Putting that on Jesus, and then y'all call Jesus Christ. So he's paid for it all. Bullshit. No, y'all need to start acting righteous. Stop saying, oh, if someone will be blessed by God if they are living this way or that way. No, we're all vessels. Because the invisible, they can touch us invisibly. But if we got physical representation blocking things like our music online or our divine message online, or people like the celebrities not helping someone like me with the message to get out because they want to show people rubbing on the kitty cat or grabbing their junk more than divine message, they're all going to start going to jail, prison, getting physically hurt, basically demobilized, and they're going to start losing their riches because the clip of power and the money, which is part of power, is changing. So y'all might want to catch up, those that are not. You got the opportunity to take care of an animal, take care of the animal. You got the opportunity to take care of a wanderer of light, talk to the divine. Really be conscious about it. Help. You're living high within your means. Help. Now if someone's throwing their life away, no, you don't help them in throwing your money out. But maybe help clean up the community to try to find the person, the key that can help that individual. You can try. But what I know is since I've been on this island, people can call it manifest or whatnot, or they can call it my position of power, being the messenger of divinity, like Jesus had. and I'm going to pound into your head, the man y'all call Jesus Christ, he was the way because he had the communication access to all the ancestors, to the all, God. The all. Not one man, God, like the all, right? Messenger of divinity. So now that's me. My communication goes to Jesus. Jesus reaches the gods. I can speak with, hear the gods. I can respond, show up where they want me to show up. But I'm the way in this realm. Y'all can choose to believe it or not, but that will never take away from what it is. When y'all see results, yes, the messenger of divinities were at work, but when you feel the presence, it's not just Jesus, it's your ancestors, your pack showing up for you. So, do I leave it there? 5 nations times 2. 10 nations and then beyond coming together. The work that I've done since I've been on this island. I've seen a lot. I didn't have to get so closely to the lot, okay? But I was, because people left me for dead. Left me on the streets. But in that time, my communications and requests to the divine and following, being where I'm supposed to be when I'm told to be there. If you take a look at the history on this island, what's been getting fixed? Drug houses and correspondences being busted. Kona, Pahoa, Elo's next. Trafficking's gone down all over the world. And it still will continue, and trafficking's really bad on this island. These are the things I've been brought to stop, to see, to know where it's happening, what's going on. My comfort from the rich and the celebrities. Could have made that a lot easier. I could have had transportation, a car to go see, not exist in the lion's den. But I did. And since then, in the surveillance scene for the divine that I've done, I'm out in the streets, people thinking I'm a cop. Can you imagine trying to dodge people? My looks don't help. People want something from me. They feel the energy, they want something from me. They think about trafficking. They think about sacrificing me. A lady freaking stalking me here at this library, trying to get me to go to her pastor's house for a feast. But only that one time, on a special moon, a special night. I heard a post, Roseanne Barr talking about how she's been trying to say for years. And I don't think it was a deep fake. Y'all look that up, deep fake. Her last statement of that, or category, she said there's wizards. And that's what I'm talking about, spiritual warfare. They see me like a bright light. And all you anybody watching me more than once, more than 10 times, y'all left me for dead out here. Because whether it was $1, whether it was $5, it would have all added up. It would help me sustain instead of struggle like an MF. So I leave it there. People got questions. You want to jump on a school bus? Y'all know where to find me in the description. The tag is what it is. I might put my Chime in there, but I do have my CashApp handle. I'll put either one in there. 88 Valerie 88 for CashApp. That's Valerie with the A. My name is Valerie Corinne Black. This new era is Messiah, and soon to be much more. So y'all start repenting, start to do what's right, truly help your neighbor, stop the suffering, because it does start with each one of us. We're vessels. It's like, how can I have barely anything, $10 in my pocket, and share half of that with the next man and these rich and these celebrities? We got all this suffering. Talk to me if y'all want to know how to change it cost effectively so where it's not a hit to your pocket. Hear me out. This is the least y'all can do for the divine. Until then, peace. So much love and blessings all of you.